Good morning, good morning. Real quick, because I only have you for a few minutes today, and I take any time someone gives me very important. And for the young men here, I want you to go out and have a great day and show off all your talents and your gifts for the scouts that are here and for the coaches that are here, for the parents that are here, and understand someone's always watching. A lot of you were here, didn't even know who I was, that I played ball, that I went to Syracuse, that I have a company, and that I could change your life with a phone call. I have a Rolodex. I could change your life with a letter. But it's not just about me. It's about that there's adults all over who watch you every single day that could change your life. You're here performing as athletes, but I'm here to talk to you about the complete athlete, because I have a company called Dreams for Kids. And the reason I do this today is that 15 years ago, the Buffalo Bills showed me the door after 7 years, 3 knee operations, 50 broken bones, and 12 concussions. Because I was no more good to them as a wide receiver, kick returner, because I couldn't run anymore. And I found out that the NFL stood for not for long. Parents, I hope you heard what I just said. NFL stands for not for long. Average player lasts 2.5 years. I was talking to a young man back here a little while ago. He said, I want to play for the Giants one day. I said, chase your dreams, but understand something. When I walked out of the door of the Buffalo Bills, and they told me I was worthless, that I was no good to them anymore, I was broken material, I called my mother up, because the only reason I'm here today is to honor her. And I hope the moms here understand today how powerful you are, because I'm about to tell you this. Because these young men are great on the field, but they need to be great off the field, and they need to be great in the classroom. See, I'm about the complete athlete today, not the football player, the complete athlete. Because when I called my mother up and I said, the Buffalo Bills told me I'm done, but the Toronto Argonauts just called. I couldn't even walk. My knees were gone. But I still wanted to play, because my dream was to play football until I was 65, get a rocking chair and retire and get a pitching plan like the teachers do. But see, no one told me the truth, that football was not for long. See, I'm here to tell you the truth today, because my mother, I'm from the South, I'm from North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, and my mother told me that if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember a word you say. Let me try that again. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember a word you say. I know none of us are here are lying all day. I know no one here is texting or emailing someone today. No one's getting on the phone and telling somebody and putting someone down today in this room. I travel all over the tri-state area, and I got involved with these programs with Dreams for Kids because I didn't like what I saw. 15 years ago, I walked into a middle school, walked down the hall in Patterson, New Jersey. Kids bumped into me like I was nobody. I heard cuss words all over the place from the girls. Forget the boys. I saw girls wearing nothing in school. I saw boys with their pants falling down. I walked into the guidance office. I walked into the principal's office. I saw 50 kids yelling at the secretaries. I saw principals walk out with kids trying to beat up, stop fights. And I said, this is not right. See, everybody here knows the difference between right and wrong, right? Talk to me, athletes. Come on. Then why are we doing so much wrong? Come on now. I'm going to ask you some serious questions today, because today is about life. Today is about your life, your career, your future. Not about me. I just didn't like what I saw. I thought I'd be off coaching football somewhere, working for some NFL team, doing broadcasts on ESPN. And I walked to that middle school and I said, I didn't like what I saw. Because when I was growing up, what's going on today would not be allowed. Your pants falling down, you wouldn't live in my house. You use a cuss word, you weren't living in my house. You disrespected my mother, you weren't living at my house. You mistreated another person, you weren't living at my house. So now I'm talking to the parents. We got to take our kids back. Every mom and dad here has got to take their kid back. Because what goes on now is not allowed. And I didn't even come to talk to you this way. But I drove up today and I'm on the radio and I hear about a kid in Wayne High School last night who got killed. I don't know if anybody's heard about that. I don't know if anybody's from the north. I've been to Wayne Hills High School. They graduated last night. The kid was supposed to be at an event. 15 years ago, I started raising money for project graduation. Anybody have project graduation in school? Well, Dreams for Kids, I bring NFL players out. I've been raising money for Project Graduation for 15 years now. I've raised over $60 million doing basketball games and events so that kids would not drink and drive on the worst night of the year in our country, and that moms could sleep on graduation night. Last night, this young man, football player from Wayne Hills High School, instead of getting on the bus, going to wherever they were supposed to go for the night. If you know anything about Project Graduation, the seniors are locked in someplace for the whole night so they don't drink and drive and they just have fun. This kid got off the bus after his parents dropped him off. Two other friends drove up. He got in the car. They went to Patterson, drove down the street, stopped at a red light. A guy jumped in the back seat with a gun, wanted all their money. This kid started to fight. He blew his head off today. Now, here's the problem. Whose fault was it? Was it the guy with the gun? The guy that wanted the money? Or the kid who got off the bus? Whose fault was it? Come on, talk to me. Whose fault was it? The kid's decision. The kid's decision to get off the bus. His parents thought he was on the bus being safe. His mother was home sleeping, dreaming about her son going to college. And he's in Patterson in the back of a car getting his head blown off. See, today is about decisions. The only reason I'm here is because I made enough of the right decisions and enough of the right choices. I listened to enough of the right people. And then I went and did the work when I chased my dream. And I thought I was going to play football forever. I thought this was everything. See, I'm mad today, and you may hear it in my voice, because I'm tired of young people losing their lives. Only reason I'm here to write this chapter of my life is because I made enough of the right decisions, and I listened to enough people. And at some point, I made a decision that my mother was right, that my grandmother was right. At some point, the light bulb went on, and that my friends on the left and the right of me didn't know what they were talking about, that my parents actually knew what they were talking about. My coaches knew, my teachers knew, my guidance counselor knew, my nosy neighbors knew what they were talking about. They had already been down the road I'm traveling. But this gets me mad because another young man, I've been to Trenton this week, I've been to Camden this week, I've been to Asbury Park this week, been to Newark this week, and I just get tired of young men not living their life out and chasing their dreams. And everything's about sports. I walk in high school and everybody tells me how great they are. I've already been to college and the pros and you're telling me how great you are. It's about respect. So I'm mad because this young man's no longer here and there's a mother right now grieving. I wouldn't want my mother to ever grieve or my grandmother to ever grieve because I made the right choice or the wrong choice and the wrong decision. And I control that. So Dreams for Kids, I go out every day with athletes. I have 150 athletes who are in my organization. I have a nonprofit. I raise money, raise awareness. I build playgrounds. And all I want to do is have every young person possible chase their dream. And I just look for schools to team up with. I look for kids that I can go and say hello to. I talk to principals and athletic directors. I talk to coaches. Let me come in with my team of athletes, and maybe we can be the voice that your kids need to hear. And I do Dreams for Kids to honor my mother. When I leave here and get in my car, I'm going to ask myself one question only. Is she proud of me today? See, my mother said, if you want to make the right decision every day, make believe I'm standing next to you all the time. How would you act if your mother was standing next to you all the time, young men? How would you talk if your mother was standing next to you all the time? How would you treat another person if your mother was standing next to you all the time? How hard would you study in class? How much respect would you show your teachers if your mother was sitting next to you in class? How hard would you practice if your mother's out there wanting you to become great? See, moms, I hope any moms here today understand how powerful you are. Because when I walk out this door, my mother's going to be right there, watching me all the time. A woman walked in early with her kid. I had my bags. 4 athletes walked in behind me. I held the door for her. I don't know. She's here somewhere in here. I hope she's still here. And she said, "You sure?" She said to me, "You sure you don't want me to get the door?" And if she's still here, I'm sure she can tell you what I said to her. I said to her, "My mother's always watching." And I held the door for her, her daughter, and 4 athletes. And I had a bag, and my arms are full, and she can tell you. I said, my mother is always watching. I don't know what kind of impact I had on her at that moment, but she saw a man, and I hope the young athletes who walked by me saw a man that respected everybody. But it starts with us, mom and dad. Grandpa, Grandma, we need to take back our kids. Because when my grandmother spoke in the South, it was like E.F. Hutton speaking. No one else spoke. And if you spoke, she grabbed your ear, and I thought she pulled it off. She only had to grab my ear a couple times. When my mother said something, she gave me a look. If I didn't move quick enough, her hand was already moving. Her shoe was flying. The broom was swinging. I know things are different today. I got a daughter, 15 going on 30. I got a son, 12 going on 6. Oh yeah, moms, you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. And we got all these young men in here, but we know we got to treat everybody right here. We got to raise them up. And being from the South in North Carolina, my mother gave me 4 principles to live by. And again, I thought my mother was talking Chinese most of the time. Because I thought my friends on left and right knew more than anybody. But now you guys got TV and Twitter and Facebook and all this other crazy stuff out there, all in your life. But my mother said that for the rest of your life, there's 4 principles. If you take these 4 principles, every door and window will be open to you for the rest of your life. Every decision you make will be easy. 4, she said, please, may I, which I know is a Southern term, may I, please, I'm sorry, and thank you. See, I went to that middle school 15 years ago. I didn't hear any of that stuff. I walk around today, I don't hear any of those phrases anymore. But see, that's a mom, dad, grandpa, grandma issue there. That's not a kid issue. The kids only know what we've taught to them and what we poured into them and what we invest in them, and last but least, what we hold them accountable for. When I stepped out of line, my butt was going to hurt for a few weeks. I don't know how about you guys are doing here. I know things are different. I raise my voice in my house, my kids get upset. But in my house, if I messed up, my mother would say, you earned this whipping. Because you knew the rules. So don't blame me for anything. And I don't have to get a few whippings. I had 8 brothers and sisters running around the house. Somebody was always messing up. Being from Raleigh, North Carolina in the South. But I made a serious mistake in the 7th grade because my mother had a rule that you had to have B's in every subject. And my Pop Warner team was state champs. I was the best player on the team, wide receiver, kick returner, pictures in the paper. Everybody, my head's huge. Everybody thinks I'm all that. And I walk in the house, and my mother had a rule about dinner. Dinner was always at 6 o'clock. I walked in one day, 6:05. And I was just strolling home from football practice, didn't really know, didn't keep my mind on time. I walked in, my 8 brothers and sisters are eating. My plate's there empty. And I sit down, and my mother said, what time is it? As my coaches would say, it's game time. My mother would say, it's dinner time. But what time is it? I said, 6:05. She said, what time's dinner? 6 o'clock. She goes, good. That means you're late. When everybody's done eating, you need to wash their dishes, and then you need to go to bed. And the question there is that, did she send me to bed hungry, or did she teach me a life lesson? Come on, athletes, what'd she do? What was the life lesson she taught me? Don't be late. Well, it's about respect. It's someone else's time. She taught me a lesson. I don't know if you know, I love to eat. Especially fried chicken, mashed potatoes, or green beans. Oh, I'm on it. I never missed another meal, athletes. Never. I was early. I left practice early. But it wasn't just about the food. It was about respecting my mother. 6 o'clock. You ate everything that she put on the plate. She wasn't a restaurant. But she would teach me a lesson. Now I'm early for everything. And I'm about to tell you a reason that being early helps. But she taught me a lesson. Then the second thing in the house was grades. I couldn't play football unless I had B's in every subject. One day I came home and she was all about me about grades. And I said, Mom, I got friends that get C's and D's. I even got guys that fail on my Pop Warner team. And they still play. And my mother said, do they live here? My mother was real short on words. Do they live here? See, Mom and Dad, we got to take back our houses. Take back our kids. See, I knew I had to get B's or I couldn't play. I knew what the rules were. We won our championship in the 6th grade. Halfway through 7th grade, we're 7-0, undefeated. I'm the best player on the team. Halfway through the year, my report card comes home, 4 C's, 2 D's, 1 incomplete. And I'm about to tell you a reason that being early helps. But she taught me a lesson. Then the second thing in the house was grades. I couldn't play football unless I had B's in every subject. One day I came home and she was all about me about grades. And I said, Mom, I got friends that get C's and D's. I even got guys that fail on my Pop Warner team. And they still play. And my mother said, do they live here? My mother was real short on words. I get home, my brothers and sisters laughing and joking because they know someone's about to get in trouble. I didn't know it was me. I walk in the house, my mother said, sit down, we need to talk. Obviously, your head's too big, you think you're all that, your picture's all over the place. I walk around town, everybody talks about you. In fact, someone got me upset today, she said, because they came up to me and said, are you Lonnie Allgood's son? She said, let me straighten you out on something. I was here first. He's my son, I'm not his mother. She put me in my place. When I got home, she sat me down. She said, when we get done here, you need to go out and dig a hole, because I had an outhouse, which meant that's a bathroom outdoors with a wooden shed. And we had a hole in the ground that we had to, when it gets filled up, we move the shed and we dig another hole. She said, you need to go out and dig 3 holes. I said, Mom, the hole for the outhouse isn't full. That's not the issue. You need to go dig 3 holes. She kept me humble, kept me grounded at all times. Second thing, she said, as you walk through town and I hear all this stuff about you, she said, I know you think you've hit a triple in life, but you need to know something. You were born on third base in the greatest country in the world, with all the options in the world. She said, next time you're hungry and you go eat at the buffet of life, understand something, you've never cooked a meal. Next time you want to drink, you go out to the well of life. Understand, you've never dug a well. Next time you're tired from all this football and all this practice, you sit on that tree to get your rest and your strength back. Understand, someone came before you and planted those trees. So you're not all that. So as we walk through this practice today, and as you guys go on the field and do your thing, understand, someone came before you to get you here. My daughter thinks she's all that at 15, straight A student, talented, sings, dances, acts, wants to be the next Beyonce. Says Beyonce's getting old. I said, no, Beyonce blew out the lights at the Super Bowl. Held up the game for 45 minutes. Beyonce's fine. First Super Bowl in history that's been stopped. All those powerful players. Joe Flacco signed in the largest contract in NFL history, and none of the players in the field could turn the lights back on. See, there was a guy in the stadium whose job that was, that knew about electricity, could get the lights back on. As we all sat there and waited, all these powerful NFL players, and it took a guy that knew, who went to school for electricity, electronics, or whatever it was, had to turn the lights back on. See, as you guys go, you chase your dream of playing football, understand there's 100 careers around you. You can stay in the world of sports for the rest of your life. You need to go pro in something. If it's not football, go pro in something. That's why you got to be the great person first, then the great student, because you control both of those. You control how you act. I know Dave was talking about people are watching your character, and you control how you act. You control academics. Everybody giving 100% on the football field? Everybody giving 100%? Come on, athletes, you giving 100%? Everybody? Now the question is, you giving 100% in the classroom? Don't raise your hand yet. Don't lie. Don't lie. Are you giving 100% in the class? I just want you to think about it. You control the seat in the classroom. You can go out there today and blow your knee out. Football's over. See, when I left the Buffalo Bills, I called my mother up and said, what am I going to do? Should I go to Canada? She said, when the Buffalo Bills cut you today, did they take Syracuse away? Did they take your degree in engineering away? Did they take your degree from Red Bank High School away? Did they take your graduation degree from the 8th grade away? Did they take your, when you walked across stage in 5th grade, did they take that away? No. So are you ready to give up this silly football thing and go do something great? See, my mother never liked football. I played Pop Warner high school, college, pro, TV, Super Bowls. My mother's never seen me play football. Been on TV, could care less. But in the 5th grade, when I walked across the stage nervous, she was in the front row. 8th grade, walked across stage, she was in the front row. High school, walked across stage with honors, full scholarship to Syracuse, academic, had nothing to do with football. She was in the front row. Went to college, graduated with honors, engineering degree. She's in the front row. She took my diploma and said she deserved it. I haven't seen her since. But here's what I want you to understand. Football was not important. She knew that football stood for not for long. I didn't know. I didn't want to believe it. My dream was to play for the Dallas Cowboys. That's all I thought about. And having a big house and all the stuff that goes with it, taking care of my mother and my family. But she knew that the 5th grade was important, 8th grade was important, high school was important, college was important. Because today I'm here because of Syracuse University, not the NFL. That's why I'm here. I'm here because my mother in the 7th grade got mad at me and said, after I got the whipping of my life, which I earned, and she told me that this hurts me more than it hurts you. And I didn't understand, because I was the one doing all the screaming, so I didn't understand what she was talking about. But she was saying that she asked me 2 questions every day when I got home. How's school going? Do you need help with anything? And I said, no, Mom, don't worry about it. I'm going to Dallas Cowboys. Let me go to practice. Everything's going to be great. But when she saw the report card, it said something different, that I had lied to her for the whole quarter. She said, I can no longer trust you. So obviously football's in the way. So there's no football for the next year and a half. I thought she was just fooling around. So I hugged her and kissed her, did work around her house. On Monday, she went to school and told all my teachers I don't play football anymore. So I'm free every afternoon, and I need extra homework every night. And the teachers listened. I got mad at the teachers. First I was mad at my mother, then I was mad at my teachers. Then she went to my football practice because I couldn't go anymore. My friends, I didn't tell them at lunch that I had bad grades and I got kicked out of football. Oh, I can't do that. I got an image to worry about. But she went to practice, told all my friends who were looking for me, all my coaches who were looking for me, best player on the team is not there. She said, Lonnie's too dumb to be here. But that's when I realized my mother was a superhero and there was a cape in the house somewhere. Because when she said something, it was law. And she would follow it up with character and her belief, integrity. That's all she ever preached was respect yourself, respect others, respect the community, respect your name. In athletics, you carry your name, school name, your town name. So much respect that needs to be done there. Every action you do, everything you say, how you carry yourself reflects you. If I'm at the Bridgewater Mall and you're walking through and you play for Bridgewater and you're not acting right, you represent Bridgewater. You don't understand that yet. But there's people who are turning down you because of the way you act out there. That's why you got to understand someone's always watching. And that person could change your life. So she goes to my nosy neighbors and she says, I want you to watch Lonnie. I don't like who the friends he's hanging out with. I don't like the decisions he's making. So I had a success team, and you have the same team. Parents, coaches, teachers, and nosy neighbors. You have the same team I had. But you got to make a decision today as you go on the field. Go take care of this part today. Go kick butt out there today. But when you're done, understand there's 2 other parts to you. That people are watching. That you have total control. How you act, how you speak, how you treat other people, how you respect yourself. And the last thing is that you control the classroom seat. You need to get A's in every subject. Look at every teacher as a coach in math, English, science. Because if you weren't doing well in your football, wouldn't you go to your coach for help? Hello? My mic working? So in the classroom, you need to go to your teachers for help. Put your teachers to work for you. Put mom and dad, and grandpa and grandma to work for you. They want to see you at graduation. They want to see you living out your dreams. They want to know that they were part of that. When I meet young people now that I had a chance to make a difference in, all I do is smile because I know I was part of that. So my mother took football away for a year and a half. Freshman year, I was mad at everybody. And at some point, I had to look in the mirror and I had to take personal responsibility. This is my fault. I got the bad grades. I'm the one who got slacked off. And because of her decision of all B's, I ended up getting all A's by the time I was a senior at Red Bank Regional High School because I was so afraid to get B's, she tricked me. I got all A's. Anybody want to be tricked like that? Come on, gentlemen. If you don't, your parents want you to be tricked. Because as a senior, I get called by guidance. They call me down to the office. My guidance counselor, Ms. Wilkinson, says, Lonnie, we have 110 colleges that want you. Division I, II, and III. West Point, Navy Academy, Dartmouth, and Princeton want you. And they're all willing to give you a full scholarship. And I said, Ms. Wilkinson, what's the problem? She said, you can only pick one. Anybody want that problem? I know you probably didn't really hear the question, gentlemen. Your parents did. They want you to raise your hand. See, I didn't know what they were all doing to me. I didn't know my mother knew what she was doing. My teachers, my guidance counselors, my coaches, they were setting me up for success. At 17, I sat in the guidance office, and I can go to any college in the country. Free. As I told one young man back here, they figured out my scholarship was worth $600,000 for 4 years. But it all starts here in the seat that you're sitting in today. To have these coaches here from college, to have these coaches here from high school, people teaching, investing in you, your parents bringing you here. You should be searching out this kind of event every chance you get. You got recruiters here, you got college scouts, you got people here who can educate you. because it's about building the complete athlete. So don't look at anybody else out there today and how they're performing. It's about you, because you have to leave here and find out where you need to work and go work. Then go to school when you get a chance, go back and go in the classroom and do some more work. And then every day work on who you are as a person, because you have total control. And the last thing, before they kick me out of here, I went to the All-Star game on Monday night. Why am I mad? I hear this today, and on Monday I had a situation where I got there at 9 o'clock. I wasn't supposed to be there till 11. Again, getting there early. No traffic issues, no accidents. I don't take excuses from anyone. It's about time, being on time, respecting time. And I'm sitting there, and a coach from Keene University, was anybody at the high school? There was a big high school all-star game, North-South game at Keene on Monday night. Okay. There was an all-star game there on Monday night. I've been going there for 7 years now, which Coach Trimmer from Caldwell High School put on this program called Leaders for Life. And the program was put on is for young minority males from urban schools, Newark, Patterson, Camden, Trenton, and they bring up boys in the 7th and 8th grade Pop Warner boys to walk on a campus, because we found out that most minority boys never dream of college till they're recruited as a senior and they walk on a college campus for the first time, because they don't believe they could be there. So we bring them there early. So I had kids from Franklin and Plainfield and Piscataway, New Brunswick. Got on a bus, and some kids never been on a bus. Took them to Keene, and they spent a whole day there. Sat in classrooms and took lecture halls, had lunch with the players. And I brought in NFL players to speak to the athletes, and we had college players there. So just to expose these kids that you can chase your dream. But at 9 o'clock, I'm sitting there, and one of the coaches from Keene walks over and says, "Mr. Allgood, could you speak to an athlete for me? He's having some problems." I said, "Sure." Guy walks over, he's 6'5", 270. From South Jersey, all state. He's in this book here, the book that they give you at the game, all state. One of the best athletes in the state of New Jersey. Walks over, sits down, introduces himself, from South Jersey. I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "I got a 2.3 average in my grades." He just graduated, just walked the stage 4 days earlier, got his diploma, high school graduate. Coach said, "I'd like to get him here, but he can't get in." I said, "Why can't you get in?" "I'm a total stranger to the guy 5 minutes earlier. Why can't you get in?" He said, "I never took my SAT." See, I got to ask everybody a question. Who failed that kid? 6'5", 270, all state, one of the best players in the state of New Jersey. 4 days graduated. He's sitting at a college with college coaches ready to sign him up. And he has never taken his SAT. Who failed that kid? Well, first himself. He should have asked some questions. Great player in the field, but in the classroom, he wasn't all that. But where's guidance counselors? Where's parents? Where's the coach that had him for 4 years? Where's adults in the room, in the neighborhood, who cheered him every game? And he was about to go on a high school field with 9,000 people at a game, the governor, the mayor, state troopers flying with the jets flying over from Fort Dix. Everything is great. And this kid has never taken the SAT. He would play the game Monday night, leave the game with no future. Because I couldn't even open the door for him. I can't get him into prep school or even help him out. You got to take your SAT. So as you sit here today, and it's great to go out in this field, make sure you're a complete athlete. As a person, as a student, and as an athlete. Because I was shocked and mad that this young man sat in front of me and had to tell me that story. That should never happen. Am I right? Come on, everybody. In the greatest country in the world, with the greatest educational system, that would ever happen. And as adults, we need to start standing up for our kids. Because understand, these young men, they're great here, but mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, they know nothing. We know that. They only know what they know. And we have to do as much as we can to keep filling in and investing in them and making a difference. And I hope today that if Dreams for Kids can help your community, help your team, help your school in any way, I'm here for that. And I hope you'll call on us to make a difference. And I hope today you guys go out and have a great day. This is a great opportunity. Take full advantage of it. And moms, I hope you realize how important you are today and how powerful you are. Because my mother walks on water today. I honor her every single moment. And I hope she's proud of me today. Thank you very much. Okay.